Hello, I'm Susan Nash, and today we get a chance to talk about a really big deal. And that really big deal is the rhetorical situation. It's a term coined by Lloyd Bitzer, major luminary in the area of the writing arts, rhetorical arts, arts of persuasion. He was born in Ohio in 1931, and then he moved with his family to Illinois, ended up going to school at Southern Illinois University, where he earned his bachelor's degree. Then he moved to North Carolina and then moved again to University of Wisconsin-Madison, where he earned his Ph.D. in philosophy. So it's so interesting because when he graduated, he was extremely interested in Aristotle and Aristotle's basically science of persuasion and art of discourse. And he ended up, when he was looking for a place to work, he went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and he was incredibly influential and even worked with presidents and wrote on presidential debates, all kinds of things. So what is most interesting about the rhetorical situation? The rhetorical situation is a point where it's important to try to persuade or encourage people to not only do something or believe something, but to sort of come over to the other side to a new worldview. And there's something urgent about it. The person who is involved in the situation, or the people in the situation, need to come to a mutual understanding of the world itself. There are a lot of sort of epistemological issues involved with the rhetorical situation, but we won't get into all that right now. Let's just look at the top components of the rhetorical situation. The first is the condition of exigence, which is simply need. There is an urgent problem requiring a rhetorical response or action. So in this case, I took a picture of Cinco de Mayo Chihuahua race sign up in Tulsa. Now, what was the urgent problem? The urgent problem was actually not shown here, but the urgent problem was an urgent need to raise money for fostering Chihuahuas, and an urgent need of too many Chihuahuas up for adoption. Nobody's adopting. So they needed money and also interest and knowledge about the Chihuahua situation. So that required a rhetorical response or action, rhetoric meaning communication. So there's a special focus on the audience. And the audience is not just people who are passively receiving your message, but they are the people who are capable of being influenced and the ones who are going to take action. So I took this photograph in London. It was a cosplay. And so we have people who are dressed up in really cool outfits, and I asked them if I could take a picture of them, and it was pretty amazing. I loved it. Anyway, it was really at a convention center that had going on at the same time a cosplay conference, a beauty products conference, and petroleum geology conference. So guess which one I was in? Quick hint, it wasn't the cosplay. So then, after you really understand that your audience, you're going to be talking to the audience members who can do something with it, then it's important to understand that there are constraints. There are limitations and resources that shape the rhetorical options. So your constraints might be resources, like the actual medium. If you want to hand out papers, you might have constraints. You only have a certain number of printed flyers, or they could be constraints about the medium. Perhaps you only can use social media, and so you have to understand which platform and how often you can transmit your message, and how you're going to get that message in front of the people you need to get it in front of. Okay, so you are the rhetor. You are the speaker or writer creating the rhetorical response. And so here we have a little chihuahua, so adorable, at the Chihuahua races, and the woman is holding a cup. It's from the restaurant Elote, which means corn on the cob, and it's a Mexican restaurant appropriate for Cinco de Mayo, and a great sponsor of the event. I think this is such an adorable little chihuahua. So anyway, the rhetor is going to be transmitting the message. So it needs to be clear who that person is. And if you are the rhetor, and you need to understand what you're supposed to be doing and to take control of that message and take responsibility. So finally is the concept of discourse. And discourse is not just text. I took this photograph of sunflowers. It's overlooking a little bluff overlooking the Arkansas River in Tulsa. And one of the reasons I like this is because we need to keep in mind that discourse can be anything with a semiotic capability, which is to say it can have symbols or signs. The signs can have meaning. And so you can make your message using images, and we do that all the time. I mean, think about your phone and the emoticons that you use. So that's a simple example of it, but it can be more complex too. The interesting thing about using a combination of discourses, which could be film, literature, and audio, and just simple images, is that the juxtaposition of them can create sort of compounding levels of signification. So you can actually have quite the complex message, and you can also have quite the contradictory message. So anyway, so finally, that's what we mean by the rhetorical situation. And glad I've had the opportunity to talk to you about it. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment box. And like this video, please, and subscribe. Thank you.